Great. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, good now, good night. I never know quite what I'm going to say, and in this moment, what feels right is just to take care of presence in the body, to notice presence. Oh, I appear to be in this human body. This human body has feet on the floor, body on the chair. And see if you can take up a posture that feels nourishing and supportive. And there's no right way to be, there's no right way to sit, there's no right way to meditate. Whatever you're doing right now is and see if you can get a sense that this presence is closer than your breath. How can something be closer than your breath? Who or what is receiving, is aware of this breath? And part of the story of being this human body is that we have a mind. There's a psyche here, finite consciousness. There might be all sorts of thoughts, sensations, feelings, emotions, memories, desires, needs, worries, floating through the screen of your mind. So let's see if we can make also space for this as part of this human experience. Notice what experience is present here for you now. So you might be aware there's this voice talking. You might be aware of how your body feels. You might be aware of some parts of yourself. Notice how whatever is going on here is permanently changing, permanently moving. So experience doesn't sort of come into your awareness, stops and freezes, and then that's it. It's perpetual. The moment it has appeared, it's almost disappeared, in and out. There's no separation in between in and out. And see if that's true for you. See if this is true. That in any given moment in time, you are experiencing something that you've never experienced previously. You've never thought this thought previously, quite like this, in this setting. And this is the meaning of you never cross the same river twice. And see if that's true. Have you had this particular constellation of parts, thoughts, or emotions that you're experiencing right now in this moment? Has it been quite like this, exactly like this previously? Ever? And will it ever be like this? Ever again? And we assume things, we filter things out through a very clever mechanism in the psyche that attempts to maintain control and order and a sense of continuity. So there's this facet of the psyche that sort of labels things and says, oh, yes, this is the part, I know this part, it's the same part. But if you dig a little deeper, has this part presented itself quite like this in this moment as it is now? With the sound of my voice here, with how you're feeling. So the first thing to notice about experience is that it's always fresh, it's always new, even if it's a memory, or even if it's a part that we've been working on for a while. That part or that memory presents itself in the now, and that now has never been and will never be again. So there's something fresh here. There's something unique. And the moment it comes, it's out. Now gone, now gone, now gone. It's very easy for us to label and to kind of go, oh, yeah, I know this part. Oh, yes, this is that part that does this. But do you? Do you really? See if you can allow yourself to view this eye with fresh eyes, with beginner's mind. Let me get to know you. Let me see you in a new way. Show me who you are. We assume we know, and based on that, we act accordingly. But if we just step away a little bit from this facet of the psyche that attempts to maintain order, control, continuity to keep us safe, we just step away a little bit and go, don't think it's ever been quite like this. And this is that kind of ingenuity, that creativity, that play, that leela, continually shape-shifting, unfolding, merging, dissolving in presence. And if you're not convinced about this, that experience is always unique and always fresh, you can do a very quick little test for yourself. If you stare at a completely blank wall, an object that appears to be solid, immovable, unchanging, if you stare at a blank wall for half an hour, what you'll experience in each moment is something quite fresh and new. And the same thing will happen if you look up at a beautiful blue, clear sky. And the same thing will happen if you look at your face in the mirror. We think we know our face. If you stare at your face in the mirror long enough, all sorts of wonderful, weird and wonderful things start to shape and shift. What's doing that? What's doing this? How can a blank wall be experienced in infinite ways? What is doing this? For goodness sake, it's just a blank wall. It's not moving. The same thing happens with our bodies and with our parts. It's because we assume we know. We assume something to be a certain way, and then we see it only from that perspective. I'm such and such. This is what my body's like. These are the parts that I have. Done. Do you know yourself? Truly. There's that Joni Mitchell lyric that's popping into my head now. I really don't know clouds at all. I really don't know life at all. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. 10 out of 10. Because we appear to know. On the surface, we appear to know what's going on here. But we really don't know at all. And not knowing is a good thing. So yes, the first thing about experience, that seemingly basic thing that happens all the time to all of us. First thing to notice is that what appears to be going on is not really what's going on. It's forever changing, forever moving, flowing. It's like trying to pin water down. This is what that facet of the psyche, some people call it the ego. In IFS, it could be likened to self-like parts. They really want to pin things down. So imagine you're at the edge of a shore and the waves are rolling in, and imagine trying to pin the wave. It's like, no, wait, I need to have this figured out. I need to have this pinned down. So you're sticking these pins into completely flowing experience of this water coming in, going out, coming in, going out. We can't pin it down. And there are a lot of parts, protector parts, that are working so hard to attempt to pin things down. It's like, oh, now I know what's going on. But it's like trying to catch air. And what you'll probably find is that experience itself is fairly neutral in and of itself. Kind of like the waves roll in, the waves roll out. That's what water does. It flows and ebbs. So what is it that makes experience be perceived through these lenses of our parts? What's going on? For instance, if you're having a fairly relaxed and open experience right now, what aspect of you knows that? How do you know? There must be something here that is comparing, working very hard to compare. First of all, to pin down an experience in any moment in time, and then compare it and contrast with something else. 5 minutes ago, I was okay. Now I'm not. Yesterday, I was fine. Now I'm not. And notice how pure experience itself just unfolds. What can be very tricky and what causes a lot of suffering for us is this aspect that compares. And this is where our sense of happiness is tied to. It's how we appear to lose happiness, or we appear to seem to be able to pin down or catch this happiness. It's like, oh, I'm really happy now. And then because experience is inherently slippery and fluid, the facet that labeled something happiness loses it. Because that's what experience does. It slips through moment by moment by moment. I've lost my happiness now. How do I get this happiness back? What is happiness? Do we truly know what we mean when we say the word happiness? How do we know that we're happy? There must be some facet of the psyche that compares. And it says this experience was happiness and this one isn't. And this is how I know what happiness is. It's a lot of pressure, a very tall order, very tall order to maintain something that is inherently slippery, slides off like divine Teflon, slides off. So if experience and consciousness itself is slippery, there must be something here that is sticky and attaches itself to things, attempts to pin it down, compare it, contrast. What is that? Are you curious about this? Something that attempts to pin down, it attempts to stick itself, attach itself to, make it be just so. Seeking this happiness, this thing that keeps slipping. I'll be happy when. Endless list. Hasn't this facet got endless list for happiness? Let's maybe name some of those. I'll be happy when I've lost weight. I'll be happy when I look a certain way. I'll be happy when I've earned enough money. I'll be happy when I have a partner. I'll be happy when, gosh, we can add infinite words to this. It's a lot of conditions on happiness. And notice it always is, it's always in the future, or it's in the past, the good old days. Those were the good old days. It's never now. Always seems to be never now, never here. And yet experience simply is unfolding, slippering, shifting. There's some facet here that's forever going round and round in circle, chasing an experience of happiness. Would this facet like to rest in this moment? Would it just like to rest in presence? In a sense of finally being good enough. You imagine that you don't have to frantically pin down the waves as they're rolling in on the edge of the ocean. Can you pull up a nice chair and just sit back and enjoy the flow coming in, going out, coming in, going out? Ah, let's sit here just for a few moments. Oh, I don't have to do that anymore. Mm. And if this hard-working, busy bee, this facet is able to relax and enjoy the ocean waves, notice how that shows up in your body. What happens to your body? Maybe allow yourself to sigh out. Ah. Maybe there's a yawn. Ah. Maybe some tension eases from your jaw, your forehead, your neck, your shoulders. Ah, gosh, so nice to take a break. Experience will unfold whichever way. See if you can notice that experience is unfolding in each and every moment, even without this facet attempting to control what is unfolding. So less focused on the content, but more on the context, the experiential felt sense of the now, of presence. Mm. If you do have an image of this hardworking aspect of your psyche, just sat on the edge of the shore, notice how sweet it is just to let experience be what it is. Not needing to strive, fix, control, pin down, manufacture, manipulate. It's just how sweet that these ocean waves can just roll in and roll out. Notice any very subtle little sort of muscle twitches, an urge for this facet of the psyche to get off the beach chair and to attempt to pin the water down. Notice how it happens just like that. It happens just like this. This part finds it so hard to rest. It wants to really control things. What would happen if this part was to stop controlling the flow of experience, the flow of consciousness? What would happen if this part was just to sit down here for 5 minutes and just observe the waves rolling in and out? And what you might be aware of is that if this part for you has settled down a little bit and is enjoying some rest, notice how experience unfolds whichever way. Your heart is still beating. Your lungs are still breathing. You're kind of just effortlessly here. Yes. Mm. Mm. And this is why in the IFS model, one of the qualities of self, one of the C qualities is curiosity. Because in each and every moment, we just have no idea what's going to unfold. It's fresh. So can I be curious? Can I be open? Can this something that wants to control and fix and attach itself, can this something settle down and simply observe the experience as it is? So curiosity means I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know life at all. I really don't know even the intimacy of my own face. If you were to sit and stare at your face for 30 minutes, I guarantee you'd see things you've never seen previously. And yet it's your face. Parts of you are probably convinced that you know your own face. Well, let this be an experiment. I guarantee you'll see all sorts. So as this meditation comes to an end, see if you can thank this hard-working part, maybe cluster of parts this facet of the psyche that attempts to control, fix, heal. This part is welcome to carry on, relaxing on the deck chair, on the edge of the shore. Or it's welcome to spring back into action. And notice how it feels to return to your breath, feet on the floor, body on the chair. Notice how it feels to return to your surroundings. Thank you so much.